Hello, everybody. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How you guys all doing today? So it is Friday once again, and yep, it is the time for the final fact sheets for the Mercedes-Benz DLC. So we're going to cover the last couple of fact sheets, but then we're actually going to get into the game and check some of the equipment and stuff out and show you everything that's exactly coming with this DLC. Obviously, this will be releasing for you guys Tuesday next week. Oh, dang. So let's get in. So, anyway, first things first, it's the Mercedes-Benz MB Track 1300 to 1800 Turbo. Obviously, this is a tractor. Going to cost you 70,000 to purchase it. Horsepower between 125 and 180 horsepower with a manual gearbox. Holds 240 litres of fuel. Drives at 40 kilometers per hour or 24 miles per hour and weighs 6.3 tons. So not bad. So this is a medium to large sized tractor. Nice. So there is the first one for today. The second one is a two-part one here. So this is the Agros Plus Tektrum RS26. Hopefully I got them pronounced right. So yeah, we'll find out. Anyway, so this is actually the little hook lift truck there. The little white dude. Obviously, this is going to cost you 152,500. Obviously, horsepower-wise, you're looking between 325 and 625 horsepower. Obviously, this has a power shift gear box, holds 320 litres of fuel, and drives at a maximum speed of 90 kilometers per hour or 55 miles per hour. This also weighs 14.1 tons. Not bad. Nice little truck there. Hey there, Mr. Rusty Nail. How you doing, buddy? So going on, obviously, with the little dude on the back there, the little green agro box is. And obviously, this is the Search Agro Box, which is a hook lift container, basically. It's going to cost you 12,000 for this. Holds 39,500 litres of product. And obviously, it's designed mainly for agricultural use. So things like your crops, silage, hay, that sort of stuff goes into this. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, so weight-wise, just for this container on its own is 3 tons. And like you can see in the list at the bottom there, it is set to bulk. So we'll hold a lot of different products in it. You're doing good. Glad to hear it there, Mr. Rusty. Glad to hear it, buddy. Right, so then the final fact sheets for today and for this DLC. So this is the Heizo Truck V2. Yeah, so this is actually a real-life truck unit. It's a modified Mercedes-Benz that can be used on the field, whether it's used for pulling trailers or balers or whatever. It's a very versatile truck, basically. It's kind of an updated version, I suppose, of the MAN truck that we've had in the base game up until 25, really. So, yeah, this is kind of its replacement, I guess. But anyway, this comes obviously under the truck category. It's going to cost you 275,000 for this. Obviously, it does have a 530 horsepower engine with a power shift gearbox. It will hold 290 litres of fuel and will travel at 90 kilometers per hour or 55 miles per hour, and obviously weighs 8.9 tons. That's actually very light as a truck, considering the previous truck, the Arox. That was, 14.1. So it's very interesting. It is what it is. I guess maybe the hook lift on the previous thing adds the additional weight. But that's a lot of weight regardless. But yeah, that is it. So obviously, hopefully over the next couple of hours you'll get a bit of an idea of what is in the pack and how it could be potentially implemented into your save games if you want to. I'm kind of interested with some of the stuff. I like some of the features in there. So shall we get in and check it out? So let's go over to the game screen. And here we are. I've loaded up one of the base game maps for this. Makes life a little bit easier. Let me get rid of that. So as you can see, everything that's in the pack is here. So I've basically bought one of everything. So this is all 14 pieces of vehicle and equipment that's coming in the pack. Now some of these do have some interesting features, I will say that Giants are adding in with this DLC, so we'll get over to that in just a minute. But to find the stuff, obviously it's going to be scattered throughout your shop as usual. Obviously the easiest option is to come into here and find everything right there. So we're actually going to go through obviously where you could find it. So first things first, small tractor category. We have the Mercedes-Benz MB Track 700 to 900, as well as the 1000 to 1100 in here. So these are very, very similar to small tractors, but have a lot of personality, shall we say. They do have different configurations depending on what use you want for them, really. But looking at that, it's kind of a nice little tractor, to be honest. Maybe a little something to have around the farm with a little trailer, maybe start off tractor type of thing. Now, configurations wise, also we have the standard version. We also have a forestry version. So you could technically scoop up your logs with this thing if you wanted to, or not. Now, I'll keep that one for just a moment. Obviously, engine wise, you're looking at 65 horsepower, 75, and then obviously the 85 horsepower on that biggest engine. So we'll leave that on there. Wheels, obviously, as normal, we do have a wide variety of different brands and also different styles. So you can have thick, you can have thin, you can have narrows, you can have doubles. Yeah, you name it. There's quite a few different selections in here. Now, these do come in different color options as well. Now, if I'm not using any additional mods to add in extra colors, but this is how it is basic, okay? So color-wise, you can have obviously the Mercedes-Benz Trucks Green, which is what it is at the minute. But you can also go with this sort of a creamier grey color. So if I select that, you get an idea. So there, I actually kind of I prefer that color over the green in all honesty. But you can also change the frame and that bucket thing on the front. Obviously, this, however, is set up to use any color and could include any custom ones you may have or even favorite ones. So I would probably have something set up like that. I think that looks kind of cool. So that is that one. Obviously, that is going to cost you 35,000 basic. Obviously, once you start adding more and more on, it's going to cost you a little bit more, so bear that in mind. But obviously, going for its bigger brother. Obviously, we now have the 1000 to 1100. Hey there, Farmer Marks. How you doing, buddy? And why did the shout out not work? Oh, let me check something. Cloudball, are you turned on? No, he's not. There we go. And yeah, for some weird reason, Cloudbot was turned off. So let's do it the old-fashioned way, and let's give some shout-outs. So first of all, there is one there for Farmer Mark. So make sure to click on his link, give him a follow, guys. And hey there, Green Thumb Farmer, how you doing? Yes, we do have the Plinko game running as well. And it doesn't do the shout-outs properly. What is going on today? It's having a funny 5 minutes. Turn itself off again. Stay on, please. Just go back to there. Let's try that again. There we go. So there is one for Green, Farmer Marks. Got a double one there. And Green Thumb Farmer. Yes, a 3-stream stream. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. But yeah, if you don't follow Farmer Marks or Green Thumb Farmer, obviously Farmer Marks was doing some Planet Crafter the other day, and Green Thumb obviously the other week was back on FS25. Also, watch out for those capitals there, Rusty Nail. Streamlabs does not like capitals, so make sure it's all lowercase. Oh, but you got it in there regardless. So let me add that to your tags. There we go. I don't know. I just don't know. Some people. But anyway, going back to the DLC, obviously that's what we're here to show off. So this obviously is the Mercedes-Benz MB track 1000 to 1100. So obviously engine-wise, you have the 1000, which is 100 horsepower. Then the 11,000 has the 110 horsepower. Obviously, same thing with the wheels. You've got all the different brands as usual. I kind of like these Mitas ones. Is it the Mitas? These Nokians. These are quite nice. I like that. The grooves on that's kind of nice. But yeah, obviously, same thing again. You do have different options for the tires. So you can have singles, you can have doubles. You don't have any of the narrows on there, though. It may be in one of the other brands, so just have a look around if you do want to run this on the field with crop destruction active. So yeah, you might want to change that. Now, obviously, one thing is you can have obviously attacher differences. Obviously, you can have a standard version where there's nothing at the front, or you can have a 3-point on the front, which allows you to add something onto the front as usual. And same thing again, you do have obviously there's Mercedes-Benz Truck Green and this silver, I'm not even going to pronounce that, but a silvery grey colour, which I do kind of like. I don't know why, but I do kind of like that colour. So yeah, so that is it in the shops. So that is those two. If we go back out, we come into the medium-sized tractors and scroll through. Now, there's a few more. There's actually 4 pieces in here. So we're actually going now to the 1100 to the 1500. Obviously, if you guys got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask along the way. But please, let's just get through where everything is in the shop so you guys know. Because, yes, there is other things to cover. It's great fun. But yes, anywho, so with this guy, obviously this is the slightly bigger brother. I kind of like the look of this. I don't know why, but I do like the look of this. I don't know if it'd have any place on my farms, but you never know. I might be able to wiggle it in. But yeah, obviously this is starting off with 110 horsepower. Goes to 125, 150, and then back to 110. So not bad. So 110 to 150 horsepower is what you're looking at with this guy. Same thing again, obviously you do have all your normal tire brands and obviously wheel setups. Now this does have narrow tires on it, which is kind of interesting, so cool. Now, this next part, the maze guard, can be changed. So this is actually this little bit right at the front here. If you look, it comes out a little bit, kind of weird, not quite sure why, but okay, that is an option. Personally, I prefer that one over that, but okay, it is what it is. But you're very welcome, by the way, for the shout-outs. And now, see, this does have a beacon light, so you can have it without. You can have it on one side, you can have it on the other, you can have it on both sides, or not at all. It's entirely up to you. This does also come default with a 3-point on the front, but you can change it to have a weight on the front as well, going from 50 kilos up to the 400 kilograms on the front there. So a little bit extra weight would help definitely if you're doing some plowing, I suppose, to get an extra grip on the front there. Now this also has a back loader attachment. So if you actually look at this little plate over the back here, back wheel area, you can actually add a front loader onto this as well, which is an interesting idea. Now, this does have a front loader that comes with the pack, which we'll get to in a little while. But yeah, not bad. I could see myself maybe adding 1 or 2 of these into the farm. Over time, I don't know yet. We'll see. But obviously, that's the 1100 up to the 1500. There's also a 1300 up to 1800 turbo version. To be honest, visually, I prefer that one. I don't know why over that one. But anywho, so with this one, obviously starting off at 125 horsepower, goes to 136, 156, 180 horsepower on the largest engine setting with the intercooler there. It's quite nice, the 1800. Obviously, same thing again. Obviously, you got all your normal wheel brands and obviously setups. Okay, so so under certain tire brands, you do have narrows on these as well. So, yay! Hey, T Miller, how you doing, buddy? You missed that one, did you? So same thing again with all of these tractors. They do have the same beacon option. So without, you can have it on one side, you can have it on the opposite, you can have it on both if you really wanted to, or not at all. Obviously, it does have the 3-point attachment on the front as an option, or weights ranging from 50 kilos up to the 400 as per the last one. And same thing again with this particular one. You can have that back loader attacher added or without. Now, see, same thing again. They do have the green. You got that silver grey color. This also comes in a silver and black option. Not quite sure. I don't think that actually suits it, in my opinion. Personally, I still kind of like that color option. Yeah, I don't know why, but yes. So yeah, there is color options. Some more, some less, but yeah, it's entirely up to you if you're going to use it. So obviously that is most of the tractor units. Now this is where I kind of get a little confused. Hey, Fireman Trucker, how you doing, buddy? And Mr. T Miller, hope you guys are all doing well. You've got one. Oh, yep. Okay, sorry. Oh, yeah. Farmer Marks and Fireman Trucker both have one there. Fireman Trucker, Farmer Marks, and I think that one there from Rusty Nell is the old one, which is still lingering. Hopefully, it's not going to misbehave today like it previously did, but we'll see. It could just be the refresh time on it. It just hasn't got around to refreshing yet. Oh, that was a bit of a weird one, but hey, Don B here. How you doing, buddy? But yeah, if you guys are not following T Miller as well, or Farming Trucker, make sure to click on their links, give them a follow. You never know, they may stream before you know it. But anyway, carrying on. So yeah, this is where I get a little confused. So personally, me tractors is like this, okay? So all these are tractors. However, you have the Unimogs right here. Oh my goodness, there is Mr. Shawnee. How you doing, Mr. Shawnee? Hello, Mr. Dumby here again. See, I don't get this. Why are these classed as tractors? Personally, I would have put these under the truck category, like a small truck. But that's just me. I obviously asked Giants yesterday when they were live why they're classed as trucks, and I never really got an answer. So it is what it is. I don't know if any of you guys actually know. But anyway, let's get into this first one. Obviously, this is the Unimog U 1800 to 2400. And with this, now I do have the UAL, Universal Auto Load, installed. I wanted to check to see if it works. And yes, I can confirm it does automatically add auto loading into these flatbeds as well to make life that little bit easier. So with this little guy, obviously configuration wise, you can have it with this agricultural platform. You could have it with just the frame on its own. You can also have it. Oh, it's the other one. I was going to say there is another platform, but it's the other one. So yeah, you got the platform with or without. Now you can have it with or without this side walls there if you wanted to. So I would probably run a lot of these more without the side panel. But I'm kind of considering maybe adding a couple of these into my own farm for feeding like the chickens, for example. This does have a 2200 litre capacity in there, so it's not overly huge, but it's there. It's there. It was good for a start anyway. Now, engine-wise, obviously, we're starting off at 180 horsepower. which then goes up to 214 horsepower, 240, and then that obviously that 240 is the highest one on the 2400 engine setup. Obviously wheel wise, obviously same as always. They have all the usual, and I think Alliance is a new one that's been added. I may be wrong, but I don't remember ever hearing of Alliance before. Obviously, same as the tractors, these do have the beacon light option as well. So without, you can have it on one side. Obviously, you can see it at the front there. On the other side, on both sides, or without. And it's kind of cool. It does have a fan on here. I'm kind of wondering if that actual fan rotates when you're within it, because it's kind of like a air con. We'll have to wait and see. Now, obviously, this does have an option for a 3-point with or without the hitch, which is kind of nice. So you could actually have something else on the back of here if you wanted to. Entirely up to you. Obviously, like I was mentioning, you do have it with or without the sidewalls there. It's a party in the middle. It is. It is. Oh, Mr. Dead Soul got one. I think I got Dead Soul, didn't I? Nope. Just noticed. Let me grab that. I should have turned Plinko off for today, I think, just to get through this, because otherwise I'm going to keep sidetracked. But anyway, color options. Obviously, you do have obviously the Mercedes-Benz options, but you also get the whole selection of smorgasbord in here. So if you want a color personalized one, you could quite easily go with a nice little pink there. I wasn't invited. So it's quite nice that they did allow you to have a full selection on this, which is kind of cool. So you could actually customize it for your own farm. So if, say for instance, you got a John Deere farm, you could have a nice little John Deere setup if you want. However, the rims are limited. You have black, you have silver, and obviously chrome. However, that doesn't look too bad. So yeah, so there is the first Unimog, in my opinion, truck rather than a tractor, but they class it as a tractor unit. So going on from that, and this is actually its bigger brother. This is a Unimog U527 to 535. So with this, it's a little bit bigger, and actually I prefer this looking one, in all honesty. But as you can see, it does come with the universal auto load, allowing it to be used on here. Obviously, configuration-wise, you have the agricultural platform, you have the standard platform, then you can just have the frame on its own. Same thing again, you can have it with and without those sidewalls, so you can just run it if you wanted to, like that, to do some pallet moving if you wanted to. Entirely up to you. Obviously, engine-wise, you have 272 horsepower, 299, 354, and then back to the beginning. So yeah, 354 horsepower is going to be your maximum on this little beast of a machine. Same thing, obviously, wheels are all the same again. Depending on which one you go for, you may have different tire option. So obviously, Continentals, you could have wide, you could have standards. Don't like the look of the standards. I prefer the wide ones, but they're in there. Obviously, you can have it with or without a safety frame. So this would be kind of a nice one, maybe in a forestry area. Just saying. Going on, obviously, you can have it with or without warning stripes or signs. This is the little big guys right here. Obviously, the front bumper itself can be painted as it is right now, or you can have it selected as plastic. Oh, it's the little bump bit there. The fuel tank. Now, this is interchangeable. You can have a 200-litre tank, or you can have a 300-litre fuel tank. Not sure which one I would go for, because I like both looks of them, actually. Anyway, yeah, so the capacity as well on this, I forgot to mention, is 2,500 litres. So this might be a better option for my chickens. If it was 50,000, it'd be even better, so yeah. Too bad it doesn't have a tank. Yes. However, now this is one thing that Giants did mention during their stream. yesterday. Now, there is features in this DLC that modders can utilize to create additional add-ons for these trucks. So, for instance, if you have this configuration, if a modder wanted to, they could go in and create a mod that is compatible with it that works in a similar way to this changing system, where you can drive underneath it and hook onto additional things like a tank, a sprayer, whichever. So there is options in there. I don't know if it's easily accessible for modders. I'm hoping some of that stuff has been added into the base game files for that to be usable. So we'll have to wait and see. If not, I'm guessing modders may have to reach out to Giants for the information for the attachments and such to make sure that they're all correct, as it were. Anywho, so where were we? So this does have the option to have a 3-point hitch. Oh, it's on the front, my bad. With or without it. So it's entirely up to you. I kind of like the look of it with the hitch on the front. You could have the Brooks, for example, on there. Just saying. Obviously, we've got the wheel, the sidewalls there, which are removable. Same thing again. You got all your normal color options as well for the truck. Obviously, main and obviously your rims, which isn't too bad. I'm glad it's working. It refreshed itself good. So I kind of like this. I'm probably gonna maybe add this as a little runaround truck. We'll have to wait and see. But that is the two Unimog trucks. Now, obviously, if we go back in, obviously there's nothing going to be under the large because they don't do any large Mercedes-Benz. Going on from there, we're then going into the trucks section. And this is where I think the Unimog should be, personally. Now, we're actually getting 5 trucks in this DLC, along with what we've had previously. So we've got into the first one. We've got the Arox, which is a smallish truck, I suppose, best way to put it. As you can see, it's a quite nice looking little truck, actually. Now, obviously, engine configuration, you can have it 326 horsepower, 428, and 510 and 530. And then the maximum there is the 625 horsepower. So not bad. A bit of a beast, really. Kind of liking it. Wheel setup on the back there. Obviously, you can have it 4x4. You can have it on the longer wheelbase, which is the 6x6. And that's it at the minute. I'm sure in the future, when modders get their hands on this, I'm sure there'll be 1,000 more configurations added to it. Anyway, but for what Giants have added in, that's what we're getting, just the 4x4 and the 6x6. Obviously, the sun shield, you can have it with or without. It's a little bit on the top of the windscreen there. As you can see, it's popping in. You can have it with or without the double horns on top as well. You can have it with or without front guards, which is obviously adding these little guards onto the lights at the front there. Obviously, you can have them painted to match in. You can have them without, and obviously you can just have them added, which I guess is the plastic from previous ones. But I kind of like it like that, so it shows them up a little bit more. Now, obviously, this can have your bumper painted, or you can have it in a plastic, which will not be changeable for the colours, so bear that one in mind. I'm actually going to leave that right there for the minute. Obviously, same thing with the grille here. You can have it painted or a plastic. Actually, I'm going to put that up there. Obviously, the sides of the mirrors there, you can, same option again, plastic or painted. Going on, obviously, this does have a beacon light option. As you can see, there's one right there. You can have it on one side, you can have it on the passenger side, you can have it both sides or without. Entirely up to you. I would probably personally have the two going. I don't know why, but that's what I would have. Now, obviously, this does have all custom options for color. So if you want, I don't know, maybe a metallic green, you could do. But also, it does have the usual rim options that we come to expect from Giants. your chrome, you got your silver, you got your white, and black. There we go. So yeah, not bad actually. Nice little truck, I would say this is classed as. So that is that one. Obviously, there is its slightly bigger brother. Now this one is basically the same as this. However, this has the hook lift option on the back. Obviously, engine spec wise, so you're going to range from 326 up to the 625. Obviously, you're going to have all the same options, with or without the sun shield there, with or without the horns. Your front guard, you can have it added or without. You can see everything right there. It is exactly the same. The only difference is it does have that hook lift bar on the back, which we'll show off in a little while, which is kind of nice. Now, one thing with some of these trucks as well, which is kind of nice, is they have added in a rear attacher as well. I haven't tested whether any of them work yet, so that might be something to look into. So we could technically have a couple of trailers with the hook lifts, as it were, on the back here, maybe. We'll have to have a little play around. But that's that one. Going up to its bigger brother, we got the Actros L Mercedes-Benz truck. This is kind of a nice one, actually. I can see myself replacing some of my trucks with a few of these guys. Now then, what do we get for configurations on this guy? So we have obviously the standard version right there. We have the Edition 3, which obviously removes some options, but adds in others, as it were. You have another option there. The Pro cabin, and then back to the standard. We'll stay with probably the standard. Now, engine-wise, also going to be going from 326, 428, 510, 625. So 625 being the highest horsepower in this truck. Now, obviously, wheel setup is going to be obviously 4x2, 6x4, and back to 4x2. So kind of limited, but if you like those longer wheelbases, it's there. Obviously the aero part, which is going on to the next part, is obviously this bit is going to be basically just suited behind the cab there. Obviously you got design 2 or without, and obviously design 1. So simple designs, but it is what it is. Obviously, same thing as previously. Obviously, your grille design right down here is going to be standard, where it allows you to colorize it. Or you can have certain parts where they're chromed. Going on, obviously, you can have it with or without the horns. And in addition, obviously, the badge on the front here, you can have it standard, or you can have it illuminated. Which basically means when the truck is running, whether it's during the day or in the evening, this should illuminate. Now, actually, I don't think I've got this, so I'm actually going to grab that. We'll have a little look. Now, obviously, color option-wise, as you can see, full range. Farmer Marks, well done, buddy. Well done. Where are you? There you are. We'll add that on as well. Nice. Yes, 2 in a row. Well done, well done, well done. Let's choose a different color. We'll go with a bit of purple this time. Now, obviously, this is going to have different areas that are color selectable. Now, obviously, if you want the whole truck to be purple, you're going to have to make sure to go in and select all of the different areas. Now, see, with this, I would personally have this more of a chrome color to match the whole thing in, but that don't look too bad. But as I want to show off the different sections, we'll make the bottom one a slightly different. Now, obviously, we do have obviously the usual 4 color selections on the rims. So overall, that's quite a nice truck. Definitely looking. I'm going to compare this to the ones that I've currently got. So I'm actually using the electric Volvo. Obviously, the maximum that will go is a 666 horsepower. It's a little bit less on the maximum, obviously 625. But I think I don't mind losing a bit of horsepower just to get them into my save game and give them a try. Now, going on, same as the previous truck over here, we have one as a standard truck, but then we have one set up with the hook lift. Obviously, same engine, same specs, the whole thing. So I'm not really going to cover it because obviously we've just done that a minute ago. But if you like the hook lifts, you could use any mod, by the way. I will say, if on the in-game mod hub or any third-party website, if you like going to those places. But on the in-game mod hub, there is mod packs out there that are hook lift, and they do work with this DLC. I will say that if you guys haven't seen any of this yet, but I can show that off in a little while. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to lease one of these in a different color. We'll go with pink, just so we know which one it is. Because I did download a couple of packs. I did do a quick test before going live, and I can confirm they do work, but I'll show you in a little while. Now, the final vehicle in this pack is going to be this guy right here. This is the Heizo Truck V2. Now, obviously, this guy right here is just basically, I guess, one of these, but modified a little bit more. Looking at the visual of it. Now, this is actually a real life truck that is used around the world, I believe. I think it's more in Europe rather than around the world, but it is used here, there, and everywhere. And what they've basically done is they've gone in, they've upped the horsepower, they've added in little bits here, little bits there, to make it more suitable to actually go onto fields. So you could, in theory, use this instead of a tractor if you wanted to at the start of your game. If you really want to, or if you get stuck for a tractor, you could grab one of these. Now, we'll get into a few things in just a minute, but first and foremost, obviously you can have it with or without that sun shield. You can have it with or without those guards, same as before. Personally, I like it with. Obviously, front bumper, obviously you can have it design 2, which is painted. And as you can see, the whole area around changes to plastic. Obviously, with the plastic option, this is not colorable, so bear that in mind. And then you have, obviously, design 1, where some of it is colorable, but some isn't. So there is that. So I'm guessing most people would probably select that, really. Now, obviously, color option-wise, for the main truck, there is no color options, but you can change the rims. Obviously, you got your green, you got black, you do have silver. It's entirely up to you, but it's very limited on the colors, so bear that in mind. Going on, obviously, that was the bumpers. Obviously, the grille, obviously, same thing as previous trucks. You can have that plastic look, or you can have it as painted. You can have it with or without the warning stripes, and yeah, that's about it. But one thing is, like the previous truck, we do have this rear hitch on here, which allows you to attach balers, because it does have a PTO, a loading wagons, or forage wagons, what you want to call it. I'm pretty sure this will hook up everything and anything onto the back of this, really. That doesn't need a, like a front loader or a rear loader type thing. But yes, kind of like it. Maybe even some plows and cultivators, I don't know. We'll have to check a few of them out. So that is those parts. Now, obviously, that is all the vehicles. In addition to this, there is also a front loader that comes with this pack. Obviously, this will go on to specifically configured tractors, so bear that in mind within the DLC. I don't know if this works on other front loaders, tractors and such. It may just be set up just for this DLC, so have a play around if you want. Now, there's that. There is also, I'm not quite sure where it would be, but there is a bumper that comes in this. And I have no idea where the hook lifts. Oh, okay, so here there, few. So you also have these 4 hook lift containers that come with the DLC. So each one is designed to do a different task on the farm, or in life, as it were. So you have a half pipe, which is basically designed, according to Giants, more for moving bulk materials such as stones, rocks, gravel, those sort of things. Obviously, in this game, obviously it's been set to bulk, so it will transport anything. It's a very simple thing, as you can see, but you do have a wide selection of color options with this. And obviously this is the Search, I think that's pronounced SIRCH, half pipe. Obviously capacity wise 14,800 litres. It obviously weighs 2 tons. Kind of a nice maybe, if it maybe for moving gravel and stones. Yeah, okay, I can see that being worked on, maybe in the mine or something like that. The second one, the Unibox. Now this is designed more for universal products to go into it, hence the bulk category. So technically, if you think about it, this is more for your mining materials, as it were. This would be for everything in transport. Now going into it, obviously it comes in a default as orange. Capacity wise 39,500 litres, weighs 2.9 tons, but does have a full color palette range in there, so it's kind of nice. This also has a little trick which we'll show in a little while, but I kind of like the look of this. I do. The alternate version to this is the, obviously, agro box, and obviously agro standing for agricultural. So all your seeds, your grains and stuff like that are meant to go into this, whereas everything else can go into that, as it were. Obviously with this 39,500 litre capacity, again, however, the rear end is slightly different. Obviously it does open up and unloads that way, so each one is designed a specific way. Obviously color wise, same thing again, your full color range, but you can have it with or without decals, entirely up to you. And obviously this will work like those other ones with the hook lift, which is kind of nice. And then finally we have a push off container by Fliegel. Obviously we love Fliegel, don't we? Yes. Simple, 30,000 litre capacity. You can have it with and without warning signs. I'm not quite sure where they are, though. Oh, I guess it's, yeah, around the side there. There we go. So as you can see right there, so you can have it in white, which isn't very visible. Most people would probably run it with the yellow or without. So there's something there. It's a little bit extra to pay, but it is what it is. But obviously with this one, when you go to unload, obviously the rear opens up, and then this headboard, as it were, pushes the product to the back. A lot of trailers in the game right now have this as an option, which is kind of nice. So there's that. Now, I wonder, where would bumpers be? Would it be under miscellaneous, maybe? There it is. That's a good guess. So this is the final piece of the pack that comes with the Mercedes-Benz thing. It's a bumper. That's all it is. It's a Mercedes-Benz bumper. It's going to cost you $500 or whatever. Weighs 250 kilos. It is what it is. I really can't see many people using this, but it's in there. So that is everything in the pack. Now, there is one other thing I want to grab while I'm here. So, one thing I will say is, with this, I actually tested this earlier on with this flatbed. It does attach and goes on fine to the trucks, the Mercedes-Benz trucks. However, the length of it in the small option is not the greatest. If this was a little bit longer, it would fit fine, but let's put it this way. The back of the truck is like all the way out here, so if you're going to use one of these mods, I would probably prefer to recommend the IT Runner one, because obviously we do have this guy right here, which is a little bit longer, and I haven't actually tested this personally, but we're going to grab one of these just to test it and see how it works. So yeah, even these should in theory work. Now one thing is, I'd love a version where it doesn't have these bars going up of it, but we'll see how it is. But yeah, here we go. So there we go. So oh, I did get it with the bucket on the front. So yeah, as you can see, nice little tractors. I almost thought there for a minute we could use them to attach onto... Oh, no, it does. It does. There it is. The R key. Okay, so it does have the winch system as well. So if you want to hook up some... I don't know, logs onto the back of this, you can do, which is interesting. You could probably get a couple on there. Kind of nice. Now, if you get inside, obviously you can have a little listen. Hopefully you're hearing the game sound as well. I might jack it up a little bit just for this. Obviously, we are live both on YouTube and Twitch as usual. Let's crank that up a bit more to 100%. Nice one there, Mr. Deadsoul. You've actually got under the ground. Well done. And we'll crank that up. So you can actually get a good listen to this. I can actually turn my headset down. Let me get that quickly, Mr. Deadsoul. So there we go. So that's the outside of it. Obviously on the inside is not too bad as well, in all honesty. Kinda liking it. It's very simple. Now the other thing I haven't tested is whether it works with interactive controls to open up the doors. I doubt it, to be honest. I really can't see Giants adding that as an option. Now obviously you do have obviously your left mouse button and your... What's that for? Oh, okay. I see ya. Let's go out. So obviously left mouse button will control your front, so you can go tilt and up and down and stuff with your bucket at the front there. Obviously if you hold down both mouse buttons, you can then control that rear, what's that called, a blade I suppose, which is kind of nice. Yes, this is kind of a cool little thing. Take a little drive, test it out. Sounds quite good. 41 kilometers per hour top speed. Yep, not too bad in all honesty. Definitely more with this configuration set up for in a forest environment. So yes. There we go. So that will do. Now I did grab every single truck by the tractor just to have a little look. So obviously we're going up to the next one here. And all these engine sounds as well are realistic to real life vehicles. Simple, no, very old design, I will say that as well with this. I will say that. To be honest, not a lot of extra stuff to do in there, but it is what it is. Obviously coming on into the bigger brothers. Kind of nice. And what I know, this is small and tiny, but things like the end of the exhaust pipe flapping is kind of cool. I like it. Well, yeah. I actually went with the tilted front on there. Lots of little bits and pieces in there. A very old design once again on the inside of this. We even have a first aid kit as well, just in case. But look at all those gears and stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now with this, just so you are aware, it does have the option where you can actually change the direction of the cab. So you can have it going forwards and back. Now obviously that is set primarily because of that the front load attacher option. Obviously if that was a configuration in there, it would work quite well. But I did add it into this one. So obviously as you can see on the inside, very, yes, basic, old looking, I suppose. But same thing again, left shift B, you can turn the cab around and drive in reverse. Hey Acid Burn! Thank you very much for the Prime resub, much appreciated. 32 months. And Mr. Green Thumb Farmer! Another one for you. Well done, buddy. So, here we go. Let's do a little bit of driving, shall we? Let's see, where's that front loader? Because we can attach that guy on here just to show it off a little bit. Oh, look at all those gears go. That's crazy. There we go. Oh, heck, it's facing the wrong way. So this is actually very helpful. So if you think about it, if you're out on the field, for example, and you need a bale loader, as it were, you could technically use this as an option. So you can actually have your front loader on the back there, pick up your bales, put one through your trailer, so on and so forth. Or a bucket if you really wanted to. And then obviously when you're driving, maybe have it in a raised position like that with the trailer underneath. Oh, it's kind of cool. It is very, very kind of cool. And yep, obviously whether you're in front view or rear view, you can still use that front loader as well. Overall, it's a little bit slower, I think, this one. But in all honesty, sounds really good. And actually drives quite well. Yes. Liking it. So jump into the Unimogs and have a little look now with the Unimogs. So something you may or may not know, but Giants, when they're doing DLCs, they like to try and add something new into the game. With this DLC is no different at all. Put it that way. There is something new in this DLC. Hey there, Coffee Man, how you doing, buddy? Now, some vehicles will have it, others will not. But when I spot it, I will let you know. I'm pretty sure it's more in the bigger trucks than these small guys. But as you can see, it's very simple. Kind of nice, but the nice thing is you do have a full screen right there to see where you're going behind. Let's give this a try. Obviously this, well, according to obviously the stats in the shop, this is meant to go up to 90 miles or kilometers an hour, and I'm just going to crash. Obviously in here it's on the choose. Don't say that yet, Mr. T-Brother. It'll only go obviously a maximum of 89, so bear that in mind. But yes, I am terrible at driving, and obviously watch out for those low buildings, so bear that in mind as well with this. It's a little bit of a beast. Yes, shoosh. And it's not just side view as well, T Miller. That is one thing I will say. So yes, I could see myself using this, like I said, maybe for chickens. I'm not actually sure now, to be honest. I can see these more being utilized on a forestry type map, I suppose. Yeah. Oops. Yep. Okay. So this one actually has it in it. So one of the features is that little. Pay attention to that little camera as I'm driving. If you actually notice, the screen itself is changing as I am driving. So say for instance I need to reverse into a trailer. I don't think I've actually got one here. Let's see. What have I got I could hook onto if I can? Absolutely nothing. Let's grab a trailer. Make life that a little bit easier. We'll go with this guy here. We'll lease that a second. Now obviously most people would probably do it externally. However, if you're into, like sometimes I do, using the camera, obviously the big problem is that seat right there, isn't it? What you could do if you're using your mirrors, you can actually use your mirrors, you can use the little camera inside as well to line up perfectly with that trailer, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. It's going to take a little bit of practicing, that's all I can say. But yeah, they finally added in... Yeah, I'm miles away. I am terrible at reversing, I really am. Where the heck are we? Oh, we're all the way over there. Jeez. So yeah, they've actually added in an interior rear view camera. There you go, which actually changes live as you're reversing or such. There we go. I finally did it. So literally whatever is happening behind you, you no longer really need to go out of cab to find it. It's kind of cool. But yeah, obviously that is one thing. That's part one, I suppose, is the best way to put it. Now, with some of the bigger trucks, not this particular one, typical. Let me jump into one that probably would have it, this one. Now with these bigger trucks, what they also have is these little interior mirrors to make it easier for reversing. It really is surprising just how easier it is when you're reversing and hooking up to something. Actually, this is a bit with, isn't it? Let's see how terrible I am. Where are those hook lift trailers there? I gotta find a hook lift. There we go. Let's go with this one. I want the orange one actually, to be honest. For some weird reason, just having the mirrors in a slightly different spot makes life a little bit easier. I will say that. Now obviously if you hit the X key it will unfold. Obviously that hook lift. Now obviously unlike any mod versions, you cannot use your mouse to adjust the height, so it comes down to wherever it is. However, with the right mouse button held down, you can move that bumper at the bottom in and out, which is kind of cool. Now obviously with these new mirror options, you should be able to back up a little bit easier, attach, and then obviously fold it back on and go for it. Now with this particular container, this is why I chose this particular one. Yes, they are a little bit strange. They're usually on the outside rather than, if for some weird reason they put them on the inside, which I actually found earlier on when I was driving them around and testing it, easier to attach and line up to trailers and these hook lift containers. It's weird. It is really weird. It's an outside camera, but inside it's weird. But yeah, obviously the new interior cameras there, plus obviously with this truck here and the other one, you have that inner cab. Oh, it's not this one. Yeah, that one has it as well. That has the inside mirrors. It was that one, wasn't it? it that one? Nope. Which one had the oh, well, anyway, I know that you got an internal rear camera. But anyway, let's quickly go back. Now, obviously, with this thing, this also has a additional feature. If you actually walk up to it, I'm going to keep the F1 closed. If you hit the Y key, you can actually open that container up and load something inside there and drive it away. Which is kind of cool. Let's try this guy just to see how big of a vehicle we can get into it. Yeah, anything with an outside camera should be able to have that. There we go. Now, I got the feeling this is going to be a little bit wide, so it gives you an idea on what you need. So yeah, maybe a smaller tractor would be able to go in there, a vehicle. You could stack your bales in there if you wanted to. It's literally up to you. Even pallets could go into this. But yeah, with the Y key, you can close and open it from the back, but you can also do it inside the cab as well. So you can literally hit the Y key inside the cab and close it. Just make sure that the container is activated or selected. Obviously, the X key will then allow you to load it onto and off of the back of the truck. There you go. And obviously, once it's there, obviously make sure to extend your bumper out. I kind of like this. And I was actually going around the map quite hard earlier, and this thing really slipped off compared to the modded version that I was using the other day. So I'm probably going to be using this a lot more. You can't hear me too good while I'm shouting. Actually, my wife came in just earlier saying, "Shush, quiet." Maybe turn your volume up. Bless him. But yeah, if you don't want to stick around, go for it. I'm sorry. But anyway, but yeah, obviously this one right here, this is a mod off of the in-game mod hub, the IT runner. But as you can see, if I back up to it, it will allow me to connect to it. Now, I'm not going to do it right there. I'm going to actually try and get it a little bit more straight. There we go. And also we're going to load it on. And as you can see with this particular one, it's a better fitting flatbed. However, it is a little bit long, but I don't mind that. In all honesty, I would prefer slightly longer than it to be half short compared to the other one. But yes, I like it a lot. That's one thing I didn't try yet, is seeing what this is like going around corners at a higher speeds. Because yeah, everybody likes to drive at 90 kilometers an hour and go all out, don't you? Let's do a quick test to see how it handles. Not bad, but we'll go, what, 58 kilometers an hour, and that is not slipping at all. So Giants have done a very good job on those attachments. Compared to the one I was using the other day, it was like sliding all over the freaking place. It was annoying. But yes, it's very, very nice. I like it. But yeah, that is the whole pack there. You got your different containers there. You got your front containers. And yeah, there's not a lot else you can really say, to be honest. But I do like that internal camera on this Unimog. Obviously right there, and hopefully, as time goes on, maybe more and more trucks will get it added as a feature. Okay, it might take a little bit of learning, shall we say, to do, but I think it's going to be kind of fun. It's definitely going to give you more of an option to use your mirrors and in-cab view if you wanted to. And as you may have noticed, is also we're not on PV Rivers, We've got minimum mods in here, and the displays in that are very, very clear. So yes, I'll have to see what it's like on rivers in a little while. But yes, look, see, we can actually just back up. We can see where the trailer is, and we can connect straight up. Look at that. That's pretty easy. Okay, I didn't do much of a test there, but okay. But yeah, not bad. Will I be using it? That's another thing now. Oh, one other thing while I remember. So, with this guy right here. So this is the Heizel truck. Why we'll put on Heinz truck. Obviously, like I said, you can attach other things onto the back of this. Now, just to show you, if we come into the store, go to balers. Let's grab the big boy. We're gonna select everything. We're gonna lease that. Now, to give you an idea, if you, like I said, if you ever get stuck for a tractor, you can use some of these pieces of equipment. Now, see, Giants during their stream yesterday were actually showing this off in the field and doing some baling, which is kind of nice. So yeah, you can actually back right up to this. You can attach, and as you can see, all the cables go in, and you have full control of the baler, and you have enough power with this truck to run it quite successfully on the field at 18 kilometers per hour. So yeah, it could be one that you could definitely add into your fleet when you're first starting out, but just remember those prices are gonna, yeah, maybe push it a little bit. Well, that's not bad actually, it's not bad. It does, the thing is, this does remind me a lot of the man truck that we've had in previous farming simulator games. I don't know if I'd really want to use it personally, but I might give it a try. We'll give it a try, but yeah, there we go. But yeah, is there any questions, or is there anything you guys want to see while we're here? Otherwise, we can switch over to PV Rivers and just do a little bit of farming. Actually, one thing I am going to check is, I'm kind of curious. I don't think I did I? See, I was kind of thinking, I'm wondering how many pallets. I'm going to say maybe 4 pallets. I need one with the platform though. I think it's that one, isn't it? Do you have the platform? Duh. Hang on. That. Remove the sidewalls. There we go. Obviously, one nice thing is, for me anyway, looking at that, that is almost perfect. But I can go in, I can change it a little bit. That would be fine. We're going to buy that. I'm going to see how well this thing works. Here we go. So, what are you thinking? Maybe... yeah, I'm going to say maybe 4 onto that. Yep, I don't know if it'll stack any higher than that, because obviously I did set up. Maybe able to get a little bit higher. Nope. I said maybe if you had some bales or wool pallets, for example, or even goat milk, for example, they may double stack. So, but I think that's kind of perfect size for a pallet or two, just to move it around. Out of interest. Oh yeah, we can crash it good. So yeah, one thing to remember is yeah, don't go around corners too quickly, even with this little guy. Come on, are you gonna right yourself or not? Or am I going the wrong way? Come on, come on, come on. Nope, he doesn't want. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna be stuck like a turtle on your side. bear that in mind. It doesn't want to write itself, so. But yeah, it will auto-load, and it automatically adds it, which is quite nice. That's one nice thing with the 25 version is, yeah, you don't have to do any configurations to get it to auto-load. Hey there, KW, how you doing there, buddy? And Mr. Amethyst Neon. And obviously it's exclamation mark fish, if you wanted to. Okay, now obviously with the sides on, it is going to only do the 2. So yeah, I would definitely work it so it has no sides on it and allows you to have the 4. So that's not bad. But yes, I don't know, I kind of like it. I know some people say, oh great, more crap. But I could see some of it being utilized. The hook lifts, for example, I am definitely looking at adding a couple in myself. Probably go with the bigger truck in all honesty. Maybe add in the IT runner pack off of the in-game mod hub. So we've got the nice long flatbed there. Yes. Okay, it's a little bit longer. Actually, I'll just show you the other one with the other truck actually. So this is the flatbed option here. We'll leave it as that. We'll lease you. Mr. Hectate, how you doing, buddy? So obviously that's the... I think that's actually longer than the smaller truck, so that might be a little bit better as an option. Yes, you. Get you unfurling. But yeah, I could quite easily see myself with a couple of little trailers on the side of the field. Oh, God, I'm terrible. Helps if I line myself up properly. Actually, out of interest, this does not have the camera. Okay, good to know. Yes. Go. Actually, yeah, even that looks a little bit short for this one. But to give you an idea, obviously this is the smaller of the 2 hook lifts. And yeah, it's tiny. You see what I mean? The length, the extra length on the back. I could see potentially a longer version coming out. Maybe by the modder. Who knows? But yeah, obviously we've got that there. Actually, while I'm here, let's grab this just to see whether this will attach as well. High hitch, low hitch, probably the high hitch. Or at least that. Just out of interest. But yeah, I'd probably utilize the IT runner in all honesty with this DLC. But maybe edit a few numbers. Oh yeah, that works quite well. So there you go. Look at that. So yeah, you could have a couple of containers on the back of this thing, on the side of the field, unloading your combines and such, or you could have a couple of half pipes maybe. Not bad little setup in all honesty. Actually, out of interest, what's the length on the IT one here? Is that, see, that's a longer version, so that would probably be a better idea. Plus the nice thing is then you have the liquid transports as well there. Let's grab to that a second in black. At least that. See how that works. I'm gonna dump that over there. This as well. Just give you a rough idea of what I'm kind of thinking of utilizing it for. If you have no vision. Let's detach that. Also, make sure to select that. Let's grab that orange container there. Oh, that's quite. While this is loading on, let's get one there added for Mr. Hectate. So there we go, and then touch this guy. Make sure this works as well. Actually, do you? Don't you? Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So the IT trailer will not connect to it. Well, that's a little bit funky. Is it because of the different pipe, maybe? Oh man, that's gonna suck. Back down to that. I wonder, can we mix and match then? I wonder how it would look. Whoa, that was close. Oh, dang it. Yes, I cannot drive at the minute. I am sorry. My wheel has gone really, really light and has no steady resistance. Okay, so that's a potential right here. No! I want that one. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if this would actually work then. It's going to be a little bit close, we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, that is not going to work. The container's a little bit longer than expected. That's a shame. But yeah, if I really hope then that the modder that does the IT runner changes the attachment setting. That would make life a little bit easier. Yes, I could see on the side of the field maybe that sort of setup. A couple of containers, that would look quite good, I think. But yes, it just didn't connect. That is such a shame. That is such a shame. But yeah, not bad, not bad. We'll see. We'll see if I can implement some of the stuff into my game. But anyway, guys, any questions? Anything we may have missed? I think it's kind of cool, really. I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, these interior mirrors now are definitely interesting way of doing it. Would that be better on that one? Yes. If no questions, we can just go over and start doing a little bit of or carry on with the harvesting. And I can hopefully get my wheels set up. Actually, I wonder if I can line this up a little bit better. See, this is the time you really need that interior camera. Where the heck are you? Nope, I'm miles away from it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so do I. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, that's a slightly short one. But yes. But yeah, the Mercedes are definitely quite a nice branded truck. Also, one of the things Giants did mention is they've only added in and got licenses for specific vehicles. So don't expect Mercedes-Benz cars and that to come out from Giants. For the simple fact they don't have the license for it. Obviously, I don't know how it works with modders. But yeah. Yes. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking grabbing maybe a couple of these. This one anyway, this Mercedes-Benz. Switch it over for some of the ones that I've currently got. Sprinter van. Isn't there something similar to that on the in-game mod hub? It might be a different brand, but I'm pretty sure they have one on the in-game mod hub. I'll have a quick look in a minute. But yes. But obviously, if you guys do not have the DLC and you are very interested in it, so just a quick run through. Obviously, you get a bumper, you get a front loader with it, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 tractors, I personally say. You have sort of utility trucks, I suppose. And then 5 actual trucks plus 4 container attachers, all set up for the hook lifters. Obviously, 2 of these trucks are hook lifts. So you got this one here, which is the smaller one. This one here, which is the bigger one. But yeah. And obviously the 2 mods on the in-game mod hub that I've been testing this with is obviously the IT Runner Pack 2623 HD, as well as the IT Runner Pack. Obviously the IT Runner Pack, the actual pieces are that little bit bigger. So what you could technically do if you wanted to edit a capacity, for example, you could do. They're all very simple trailers and such, but yeah, obviously you do have like a lock container one there if you wanted to. You have a bale / pallet loader there. The nice thing is these are configured to also use the universal autoload script. So you could maybe utilize some of these, for example, for maybe chickens or pallets. If you got I want to do a test with this. I want to do a test. Now that we've got those hook lifts, I wonder, will the containers that are on PV Rivets Remastered load onto that, or are they too big? Also, will T. Miller's, yes, his T. Miller's John Deere pallet fit on there? Good question. Let's go do a test, shall we? But yes. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I tried to cover as much as I can. But yes. You drive one for it work there, Hectate? Nice. Let's have a look. Let's load up a test map. I'm going to do a little bit of testing on rivers quickly. Continue. Look at this. My mods are getting higher and higher and higher. It's not good. But I'm going to select everything because that's what I'm running on my other save game. And we'll see. Let me know as you have to go to work. Alright, T. Miller, I will definitely let you know. And actually, while we're loading up, I'm going to get on the fishing finally and do some blinko. And whilst I am at it, and I'm miles away, that's terrible. Oh, Mr. Dion. I just noticed that you got in there, so let me get that added. And there's also one there for Mr. T. Miller. There we go, we'll add that. But while we're waiting, let's go in and do some shout outs for you guys. So, who do we have out there? We have T. Miller, Mr. Farmer Marks, Mr. Coffee Man, Green Thumb Farmer's been out there, Mr. Rusty Nail. I'm going to put one for Neon as well because you never know. I know he's away at the minute for personal reasons, but you never know. Maybe in the future he may stream once again. There's Mr. Farmer Marks. I might have missed a few people, but I don't know if these guys are out there still. Malachi there. But yeah, if you guys are not following any of those guys, make sure to click on the links, give them all a follow, and yay! Alrighty, let's have a little look, shall we? So, confirm, okay, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So, first things first, we need a couple of pallets. We're actually going to grab a truck. Let's see. I'm going to go with a bigger hook lift here. We're going to customize it to how I would probably have it personally. So let's have a look. I'm not quite sure about these other configurations. I'm going to keep it maybe the Pro Cab. But I don't like that. I don't like that front part. I like that bit. There we go. We'll leave it standard. We'll go with the higher engine. Aero part. Yeah, we'll definitely keep that. We'll go with the chrome on there. We'll keep the horns. We're going to go with the Illuminati or illuminated bit. Color-wise, let's see. Let's go with my metallic red. There. We'll go with my metallic red. There. Oh yeah, that looks not too bad. The grill. Yeah, that's not bad actually. The red and the metallic red and the black there. It's not bad combination. And we'll keep that on chrome actually, because I do like my chrome. See, that is what I would probably have it set up to. That is not bad actually. So let me buy. Oh, okay, we're going to lease you instead. And actually, I have interest combination. Now, obviously, default wise, it's going to select these, but obviously, I want those IT runner ones to try. So let's go with the bigger one. And we'll go with the bale. That I would probably have selected as maybe a black option. Now, obviously, we will need to change the load zone. So we'll extract. Make that a bit bigger. Obviously, I want to try and keep it in the purple zone or blue zone. We'll make that a little bit bigger. Like that. I'm just going to make it a little bit wider as well. So it's just... yeah, that's not bad actually. I think that'll be fine. We'll buy that. But one thing I would say is, the only thing I would have as an option is have these bars removable on them. I really, really would. Alright then, oh yeah, I've got the tab disabled, haven't I? So, let's come down here, enter vehicle, and I just realised, I know why my wheel is not, getting any stuff. Hang on a sec. One sec, I just got to load up G-Hub. Come on, there we go. We'll have a bit of that. Oh yeah, there's my resistance. Okay, now I've got my resistance. I like a little bit of resistance. So, go. Actually, yeah, this is probably the better option. It's a little bit bigger than the actual truck itself. But that is not bad. I think actually, to be honest, anything from here to the back there is a bonus in my opinion. I like that, so that is fine. See, with this you can load on bales if you wanted to, but right now, obviously I want to do 2 pallets, so good old easy dev tool. So let's go into here, select all, and I want any old container, so we'll select that one. So I'm going to go up McCain's there, and now so we need Mr. John Deere. From Mr. T. Miller's Tractor Factory. I think it's under J if I remember rightly, so lots of clicking. I'm hoping it's under J. I'm pretty sure it's like JD8, whatever. I hope it's not just the numbers. Oh, I just went past it. I seen it. John Deere, there. 8RX. Select you. That's a big old pallet. That's the only problem. I don't know if it's going to accept it, in honesty. I don't know if Team Miller's actually updated the mod yet, but must test. Got to test regardless. Alrighty, let's have a little look. So, up there. Oh, look at that. That is pretty perfect. That is pretty perfect. So if you got any odd trailer containers laying around, that is going to work perfectly fine with the IT runner pack. I will grab the other flatbed as well, just to do a little test. But I'm happy with that. This one, on the other hand, is going to be the tricky one. Well, length is tight. It's a little bit tight in my opinion. Okay, yeah. A little bit too big. I wonder. Kind of wondering if I was to do some configurations to that. Oh, too far. Can we get the load zone a little bit bigger? Nope, I don't want that one. I want to try and keep it within that box. That one, we'll take that out to there. We'll take that one out to there. I'm going to raise it up a bit and just see. Oh, hang on. I need to make a change. Let's go with the red there. And then do it. Yes, I remember now. Always change a configuration first. There. We'll bring that over to there. We'll bring that up. And hopefully... Oh, it helps if they're also roughly equal. There we go. Customize. Yes. Okay. Oh, dang. Oh, can I do it right there? Oh, that would be nice. Oh, yes, there we go. Right, so obviously that is a humongous load zone. Let's see how we get on with that. Oh, there we go. So, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? It works. I will say that it does work. However, it is overlapping quite a bit at the back. Yeah, even the tractor on its own, it's very tight. Now, obviously, if it didn't have, yeah, you kind of need a slightly long one maybe. But yeah, if we didn't have the bars here, it wouldn't be too bad. But yeah. Oh my goodness. Actually, I'm going to take a picture of that. Print screen. It did auto-load though. It did auto-load. And if I go into here, if we come into here, and I'll take a picture of that load zone. Print screen. There we go. I have interest. Yeah, see, the thing is with that, there's no hope with that one, I don't think. Obviously, you have the bars on the outside. If these were removable, that would be nice. That's one thing I will say. If these bars were removable and we just had that flatbed piece, it wouldn't look as bad. But yes, for some weird reason, they decided to add them in. Now, out of interest, I did want to just test this guy right here as well. So this is obviously from that other mod pack. I'm going to bring that in a fraction. And let's make that a little bit bigger. This is more just for the smaller McCain container, I think. Let's lease that. Platform small. Fire department. Civil protection. Municipal services. I have no idea what the heck that means. See, what's the difference? I don't see a difference to these. Yeah, okay. What is the difference between standard and the standard Bales autoload? Visually, I don't see anything. Maybe it's something without the script. I don't know. Andy the farmer, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back in, and I will get you added to the list again. But yes, it's it kind of goes on. If it was a little slightly smaller palette, let's put it that way, that would work quite well, I think. It just needs, I don't know, maybe a meter taken off of it. Either side. But I'm interested. With this littler one, is that any better? Yeah, looking at that, yeah, no, should I try it even? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that is a tiny little thing. I wouldn't even sneeze on that thing. Okay, but it's good to know that at least the IT runner one works well with the containers. So yeah, now if only we can get the hook on the back here to work with the trailer. It is what it is, unfortunately. It is what it is. But yes. Ba-da-ba-bum-bum. See, now that's one thing I don't get as well. So, we'll come back into the Mercedes-Benz stuff. So, also we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different containers for the hook lifts. How come Giants never added like a flatbed version? In every mod you see, whether it's a hook lift or not, they always have a flatbedded version. So how come Giants didn't do one as well? I think that would have been such a better option. Okay, do I not have Andy on here then? I guess not. Let's put you on the other side then for a minute. Andy the farmer. And by the way, thank you very much for the mega fart there, Andy the farmer. Much appreciated. 1975. Oh, Mr. Green Thumb Farmer is in there as well. See, now that I've finished showing everything off, you guys are going crazy. It's great. I like it. But yeah, it's weird. But yeah, just to remind you guys, with this one here, obviously you can open these back doors and drive stuff in if you wanted to. Or you can put pallets in there, you can put bales in there, you name it. Why do I always land on myself? I have no idea. Have you been drinking a little bit too much there, Green Thumb? Yes, Shawnee, it was not you this time. Which is, yeah, kind of suspicious if you ask me. Righty. Just want to check something. What happened to my stream? Go back. There we go. Before I I take this away, wait. Just out of interest, so see that one there that I've just attached to is the Giants size one. Also, we've got this one here, which comes in the DLC. Now, what's the difference in the sizes? Oh, quite a bit of difference, actually. Yeah, there's a good couple of extra meters on the end of that one. Interesting. But yeah, I was kind of wondering whether or not... Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I was kind of wondering what the difference is. Now, obviously, this is part of the pack. Just out of interest, what size comparison is it to that? See, actually it's about this, almost the same size as our little containers themselves. Isn't that crazy? That is kind of crazy. But anyway, sorry, I was getting a little bit sidetracked. Oh, I do apologise. But yeah, what I'm probably, depending on how it looks over there in a minute, I might do an edit to the IT runner pack and use them instead of the containers that come with the pack. But yeah, obviously it depends on how far off it looks. If it looks too ridiculous, then yeah, I don't know. There. Actually, I don't think that looks too bad, in all honesty. Okay, it's a little bit longer than the truck itself, but obviously we can extend that bumper out. It's not going to do much, to be honest, but that isn't a bad setup. Now that we've got a little bit more space, thinking about it, let's do a little drive around to see... Ooh, I've got an idea. Nope. Gee, let's fill this guy up, see what it's like. Filled up first of all with some wheat for 45,000 litres. That's not bad, actually. Okay, I do like to go around corners quite well, just put it that way. Let's see how this handles. Top speed if we can get it. It's a little bit slow actually on the speed there. Oh yeah, obviously, yeah, there we go. I had a feeling it'd probably tip over, but yeah. Let's see. Let's have a look at the underneath. How good is it? Ooh, nice engine. Oh yeah, there you go. Not bad, not bad. Yeah. But actually, looking at the... Yeah, to be honest, it's not that much bigger. Look at that right there. You what? Maybe a meter, maybe two. I am happy with that as a setup. I really would be. Out of interest, what wheels options does that thing come with? So that was the bigger of the two trucks. Oh man, really? Yeah, it only comes with basically the road tire options. See, now what would be kind of nice is if it had something like these bigger, chunkier tires. Oh, okay, I know that they're meant more for off-road type usage, but yes. It is what it is. Oh, I wonder. What did I want? What did I... Oh, it does. So seemingly it does work with precision farming as well. It's detecting the Iseria Pro. And it does have the things. So yeah, you could even use this for seeding, for plowing, all those bits. Front guard, front shield. Okay, I might go in mental, but I'm sure this had an option for a front 3-point as well as the rear. Or was that something else? I know there's a mod on the in-game mod hub that you could use that attaches to that. Wonder how well that works. But anyway, there we go. I think for the last 10-15 minutes, I'm going to get into my save game. Carry on with some harvesting. I haven't actually done any farming since Wednesday stream, to be honest. I decided to load up Planet Crafter. Oh! Planet Crafter news as well. For anybody interested, I actually got in and finished Papa 55 Can. Thank you very, very much for those 500 biddies. Much appreciated, buddy. I'll say, need to make sure that that's active. I'm going to make sure the other IT one is active as well. Wherever the heck that is. Yeah, I think these are just going to be far too short for the IT runner pack. I'm going to stick with the IT one. Do I? No, okay, I'll do. But yeah, so obviously for those who tuned in last, what was it? Well, last Wednesday. So not Wednesday just gone past, but the week past. Obviously, I was showing off my Planet Crafter. Obviously, I've only been playing, what, two and a bit weeks maybe now? And I have now gotten off of Planet Prime over there. I actually got to breathable atmosphere and fully terraformed and all, or terraformed, should say, has been achieved. I decided to get off the planet and start a fresh base on Humble. So I'm over there. I've already got heaters down. I've got pressure drills down. I've got materials drills down. So yeah, loads and loads of stuff going on. I'll have to maybe show it next week. But yeah, the base is definitely coming on. Enjoying it. I've got most of the base materials now being brought in by drone. There's a couple ones I'm missing. The uranium, and there was one other, but I cannot think of what it is right now. But yeah, the uranium is one of the ones I have not found yet around the map. But I'm pretty sure I've got most, if not all, of the other base materials being mined and brought in, so it's kind of cool. But yes. Yeah, who knows? Maybe Wednesday next week, once I've got a little bit more play in there, I might show that off as well. But yeah, I've already got lakes being formed. I'm heading up to the moss stage. So yeah, definitely coming on quite quickly over there. It's kind of nice because when I left Prime, I did go semi-prepared to get things really going very quickly. So I made sure I had enough to at least have one of the tier 5 pressure drills, one of the big heaters, so on and so forth. So yeah, things crank on pretty quickly. And I also made sure that I had enough to get the rocket set up on coming back and stuff. But so far I haven't needed it yet, so yay. But I have got the is it the trade one set up to go between the two planets if I need anything. So that has definitely helped with those uranium rods and such. But anywho, it is what it is. Right then, that's a different game, and obviously we are doing Farm Sim today. We've got about 10 minutes, so let's see, where the heck were we? I have no idea. So that field's done. That field's, I think most of these are now done, and we're probably getting into some of the other croppages. Oh, what have you stopped for? Oh, yes. I remember. Put this on hired worker. Hopefully, my game sounds stick around a little bit longer. We will see. Actually, that's one thing as well I noticed during Giant's stream yesterday. Somebody mentioned, when is the sound issue with the game going to be sorted out? Where we're keep losing it. And yeah, no answer, surprisingly. But there we go. Mr. Hired Helper, you can carry on with this field. And I am going to see what I've got. So over on this field here, we have carrots ready. Okay. Obviously I've got the rice here to get done. Obviously I've got some grass over here to get done. Oh, there's loads of potatoes now. Oh, that's the point. I can do a test. With this little guy. Red beets, sugar beets, parsnips. Okay, I took the potatoes out. So this is one thing I've been playing around with. I still cannot seem to get it to work with all 5 root crops yet. And the hired helper. But let's have a look. So let's go with that configuration there. Work with, we can go with the biggest, I think. Because I'm going to be doing most of the work myself. Oh yes, oh yeah, I remember. I know how to set that up now. I think I know how to set this up. So you select a capacity and it automatically changes the discharge. Because now, this is one thing that gets me from time to time is certain vehicles and equipment within the game already have certain configurations that use the set configurations that I usually do for doing the capacities. Pain in the behind, it really is. But I was looking at a few things the other day, and I may have figured out another way around doing the configurations for the capacities. So I need to do a few tests to see whether or not I can get it working, first of all. If it is, then any mod that I've currently got where it has the selectable discharge in it, I might be able to change it so it automatically adds it so you don't get too confused. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is a little test to see if this thing's going to behave itself or not. Enter you. Oh yes, I sold my one that I had on loan. Right then, red beets, which was top, wasn't it? Does anyone remember where my red beets were? They were up at the top, weren't they? Or is it on the island? Is it that one? Is it? That's the carrots. That's red beets, isn't it? See, it doesn't say in here. I thought I always mentioned it. Visit red beets, yeah, up by Cushies. Okay. Yes, I remember now. Not that I actually need it, to be honest, but I thought I'd plant some just to fill the fields up. But one thing I do need to do is at some point get in and start planting crops for next year. That's probably what I'm going to be doing next week. So, yes. We shall see what we see. Actually, let's crank that up. I wonder if that's what the problem was. I did lower my microphone the other day, didn't I? Is that better? Hopefully the game is a little bit lower than I am. I hope so, I hope so. Have you ever noticed? Somebody always says, oh, does my sound okay? Then all of a sudden they go quiet. It's like, well, we can't really tell unless you keep talking, you dingo. The worst thing is I do it as well. I do it as well myself, which is kind of scary. And actually, while I think about it, I'm going to get on the action too. So, out of interest, before we actually disappear, for those who have now seen the DLC, whether through my stream or somebody else's out there or on YouTube, what is your guys' thoughts on it? And also, if you don't have it, will you be going out and purchasing it? I know for my own personal self, I would actually go out. I think it's actually worth it, and I would go out and buy it myself. But thankfully, being a Giants Bronze member, I got it for free this time around. But in all honesty, that's one of the things I always tend to do. I always buy the DLCs anyway, even if I don't use them. I like to look at them, check them out, see what they're like. And yeah, the worst thing is, now that we're getting more onto those bigger maps, it's kind of being, a lot of them are being pushed to the side and not really used. But yeah, I could definitely see myself changing over a couple of my current lorries for some of those Mercedes-Benz. Maybe I might end up getting one green, one red to replace the electric ones that I've got. That is an option. That is an idea. Think about it. I'm trying to remember. Is it 2 of those electric ones I've got, isn't it? Yeah. I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, I've got 2 of these electrics. One in the metallic red, one in metallic green. So I'm probably going to end up replacing them. To be honest, it is something that I have been thinking of late. Because I don't know about anybody else, but the thing I don't like about them is the fact of when you have to charge them. One, it takes quite a while to charge them. But if you shut your save game down and reload it, it doesn't automatically carry on charging. You have to literally physically go back to the vehicles and reactivate the charging option, which is a downside to them, I think. So yeah, I'm probably going to be replacing the 2 of them in a little while. I want to make sure that the hired helper will work with these wider pickups on here, first of all. And we'll go around and see if we can find a couple of those electric vehicles. But yeah, next month is going to be fun as well, because obviously a lot of my other crops become ready. And there is that blinking error again. I need to find out where that's coming from. It's a smoke effect from the looks of it. And it's going to be one of the, or another of these factories up here. At first I thought it was the Heinz factory, because it seemed like every time I come near the Heinz factory it pop up. But the other day, I was coming from the other way, and obviously the textile factory drew in first before the Heinz factory, and this popped up even before this was loaded. So it's kind of weird. I don't know which one it's off of. I don't think there's any smoke on there. That's the thing. Obviously with Green Thumb doing it, I have no idea, but I don't think he added any smoke effects onto it, so it's kind of a weird one. But anyhow, it is what it is. But let's come into here. Now if I'm back here, will it kick in? It will. Hopefully. Or are you just going to sit there like a twonk? Let's try doing this way instead. We'll select you. Create job. On the field there. Start. Let's have a look. You'll probably drive on a little bit which is fine. But yeah, I'm not doing any of this. I just want to see whether or not the hard helpers are going to behave or not. Oh yes, he works. Flight mode on. Yeah, as you can imagine, I did make a rather large, over-the-top pickup area. But I'm kind of curious to see what that is like turning. Okay, so you went to the end quite nicely. Didn't disconnect, so that's good. Or I should say stop working. He didn't stop working, he carried on. Turned around and... Okay, well he looks like he's going to do a good job. Now, before I go anywhere, I want to come into here. And I want to replace my two trucks. The only problem is I cannot think of what the heck they're called. They're. Don't you just hate when that happens? You suddenly get a brain block. These are Volvos. That's the ones I want. The Volvo electrics. There they are. So we got one right there. We have one right there. So, 49 months I've had that. Oh, geez. I'm sorry, mate. Or 71 months, should say, I've had that. Oh, both of them. Anyway, we are going to... Yeah, so yeah. So that one's over by the forest over here. Nope, that's the forklift. That one. Okay, so I want to reset you because I'm going to be changing it to match the same colors that there, so I don't get too confused. And I should have, I think it's this one. Nope, that's the man truck. Oh, that's another thing as well. I could probably get rid of those man trucks now as well. So that's there. The other one is by the piggies from the looks of that. Oops. Yes, I remember. We'll come into here. We're going to reset you. Okay. And with them now at the vehicle shop, let's jump in here. So we have one which is metallic green, one which is metallic red. Okay, that's fine. I want to make sure that I get the right colors. So just before we disappear, so let's come into here. I am going to be choosing this one to replace both of these. Let's see what configurations we have. So I'm going to keep them very simple. Now I do like the standard look in all honesty. Also we're going with the higher engine. We're going to keep the 4x2. We'll keep the aero on there. Yeah. Oh, actually the aero 1's kind of nice without the side panel here. Oh, choices. Show tank, or with that? I think I'll keep it like that. I don't know. Oh, heck. Nah, bugger it. I'm going to keep it like that. Okay. I do want the chrome on there, though. I am going to change up that. I'm going to keep that. So, I want a metallic red option for this one. Select that, select that. The grill, I'm going to change to a black color, probably. I do like that. And also I want to keep that as chrome, so that is fine. So we'll buy you. We're going to keep the same configurations, but we're going to change it to my metallic greens. There we go. So that is perfectly fine. We're going to buy that. And now that we've got both of them set up, we'll come into here. We're going to now sell those 2 electric Volvos. There we go. We'll sell that one. We'll sell that one. And we now are the proud owners of our first Mercedes-Benz Trucks. Woohoo! Look at me. Go me go. Technically, I could probably go through and replace all of my trucks over and over again. Yes, I am not short of money on this save game, that's for definite. Right, so let's enter you. So we have 1 green. The only thing is, I think what would be nice is if it had a... what do you call it? Like oh, fudge, can't think of what they're called. Like a bumper bar on the front. So I think this is it with these? A front guard. See, something like that. The front guard. That would be nice. That's the only thing that is missing, I think, in these. As you can see, there's no front guard in there. Which is a shame. But it's a little thing. Obviously, once modders get their hands on these in the next farming simulator game, I could see them being heavily modified, adding those in, and yeah. Right, so this guy, I'm going to send off to the sawmill, because that's where he needs to go. Sawmill, sawmill, sawmill. I'm going blind. Sawmill, drop off there, pick up, that'll do. Go. Whoa, that's a little bit fast. And this guy, on the other hand, is mine. Oh yes, I don't know why. I have flight mode enabled. That helps. I'm going to drive this over the road. Because, yes. And we're going to go in cab and see how it looks. Yep, surprise, surprise. All the dashboard there is all gone a little bit fuzzy. Ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah, I might actually go through and replace my MAN trucks as well then, with a few of these Mercedes-Benz to haul those containers. Ooh. That would be kind of cool. Oh, that's the point. I need to go over the piggies, don't I? Yes, because I was dropping some stuff off the other day, wasn't I, over there? But yes, I've got to figure out what I want to do about the hook lifts. Yes, what would I replace, if anything? And I also still got to go through and sort out my extended part of the farm now. I just have no idea what I want to do there yet. I'm kind of thinking along the right side where that hedge is at the minute. Have this almost the main sheds on that side. But yes, I don't know. I'll have to try and sit down with myself and see what I can come up with. Now then, this is going to be interesting. There we go. Oh, okay. Let's try and line up a little bit better. Oh, that's the point. Do it. Oh. Do we have? No, we don't. Okay. So it looks like it does not currently work with the adjustable mirror mod. So that's one thing to remember. Keeping an eye out. Maybe there'll be an update for it. There we go. Here we go. Get this out of here. Oh yes. What does that look like anyway on the outside? Yep, that looks like it should be like that forever. Oh no, it's good. Got good brakes on it. I will say that. But yes. Oh, and actually, looking at it with the crampy trailer, it's right about the right height as well. It's almost like it was made to measure. Sound-wise, it sounds pretty good. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong one. Just out of interest, oh, you do have the sunroof at the top there. Oh, one thing I was going to check is obviously that badge. Ooh, yes. The illuminated badge. But saying that, I'll say one thing. With a trailer like this set up on, it can go. I like it. I am liking it. Oh yes. And actually what's kind of strange is there is quite a lot of Mercedes-Benz trucks around here, so yes, it is definitely worth every penny, I think, just for a couple of trucks to give it a try. Ready. There we go. But yeah, obviously if you got this season 1 pass as well, it is included, so bear that in mind. So yeah, turn that off. Oh, did you notice that? I actually thought they were mirrors. For some, that's how daft I am. I actually thought that these were mirrors. If you actually watch them, they actually turn on with the engine. There are actual rear displays, not mirrors. Isn't that funny? That is very cool though. That is very cool. But yeah, actually, so just a quick one regarding that is obviously in a lot of the DLCs, you may not realize, but Giants does try to add in new things, new features to the game with certain things. Obviously with the Mercedes-Benz, also we're getting these new rear cameras in trucks and stuff, which could hopefully then go into utilizing in other vehicles. You never know. Going back to the Nexat DLC, obviously that added in auto aligning with certain things. Obviously what that basically is if you haven't seen it before, obviously when you're trying to line up with the attachers. So if we come into here, for example, here, so if you've got this thing here and you want to connect to one of these attachments, it has like an auto alignment that you can select and it will align to and allow you to connect easier. Obviously that's a new feature that Giants have added in. They didn't add anything, as far as I'm aware, with the Plains and Prairies pack. I don't believe. That's anything like that. Obviously, the MacDon, obviously, it's added in the swathing option to the base game. Going back to 22, the Kubota DLC added in the passenger script that allows multiple players to be inside the same vehicle. So they are trying to improve and better the game. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, you should do away with all these DLCs and focus on the game. But these DLCs are adding in things for the future of the game to improve it. So don't just brush it off as great, a little bit more money. to spend out. You don't have to buy them if you don't want to. Bear that in mind. But if you do, I think it was going to benefit not only your gameplay, but the game in general is going to get better and better and better because Giants are pushing themselves to get things sorted out. Okay, this thing's still, they need to be fixed, like the sounds and stuff, but they're getting there. They are getting there, and they have my full support is all I can say. Obviously, if I wasn't a bronze member, I would definitely go out and purchase the DLCs regardless. And yeah, I like it. You like the truck? Yes. Well, you will have a chance to have it yourself there, Mr. Russell, on Tuesday next week. So, yes. Obviously, if you haven't got the Season 1 pass... Oh, I never even noticed that. They even have the Mercedes-Benz on the inside there. See, I'm seeing different things. Now, one thing I would love is maybe my logo on the back of the truck there. I wish my graphics were a little bit better. Or the processor. Yeah. Maybe in the next game, when we have access to these Mercedes-Benz, I'll get my logo onto one of these trucks. But anyway, guys, yes. Just a reminder, if you don't have the Season 1 pass or the DLCs, and you want to buy them, obviously you're more than welcome to use my partner code, which is Alpaca, ALPACA. You can also use, obviously, Dajnet, DAJNET. But there's also other members out there, like Big Daddy, PJ Trap. They all have their own partner codes. So, yeah, if you want to support a particular Giants partner, look on the people's streams for, obviously, the Giants Software Partner Program logo, which is obviously in the bottom right of my screen in the stream here. If they do have it there, maybe go below the stream and have a look at the more about information. You might find that it has one there already with a link. And I just realized those lights are a little bit funky. You've got a very small clip distance. Ugh. Anyway, this is another shed that needs to be repaired because Green Thumb still hasn't sorted out the bottom of that door, but that's just something else. But yeah, anyway, I need to get off, unfortunately. Hopefully, over the following couple of days, more and more streamers will show it off, the DLC itself, and maybe swayed you into getting it? Yes. But yeah, obviously, like I said, you can use my code if you want to, but obviously, I would prefer Mr. Dajnet to be there first than myself. But yes, anyway, we're going to call it there for today. I do need to jump off, unfortunately. Yeah, just put down a doormat. Yeah, I think that's actually going to need more than a doormat, Green Thumb, to be honest. That is going to need a doormat and like a wire brush or something at the bottom there to stop the wind coming in, because that is quite a big gap. And I just realised, and I don't know if you can see it right there, there seems to be no textures on the sides of the wall there. Same there. Just saying. Just saying. But anyway, let's get this game going there. So thank you very, very much. And yeah, catch you later there, KW and everyone else. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for the bits from Mr. Papa55 Can. Thank you very much for the stream streaks, the sound alerts, all you guys for coming in. Much appreciated. I have no idea who's actually out there. But for you guys over on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Obviously, I will be back on Monday, same time, same place. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday,